a very good evening to you on this beautiful Thursday evening, 6 p.m. VR evening. It has been a really good day. The sun has been going in and out behind the clouds, but I have been beading for probably about an hour and a bit in the garden, just sitting there. The sun was coming and going, and actually it was quite nice because I did lose myself in the beading, and I think I would have got quite burnt if it would have been sunny all afternoon. But like when the sun came out, it was just felt really nice and warm. It was very I don't know, it was like very warm. It was really nice to first I guess the first day I sat in the sun like that, like this year, and it just felt like, summer is here. It was really good. Right, I am just going to I'm trying to log in and turn on Facebook manually, and we see if we are able to do it from here. There we go. 1, 2, and save. So let's see, let me know, just sort of gonna talk to you for a minute or two, if you can, if it's now streaming on Facebook as well. We're trying to get around, and I'm gonna do the same thing what Natalie and Laura does, to sort of go from the program, because we had all sorts of different things in there, where it's like, so I don't know, there's just something just didn't work out right. But anyway, yeah, I think we are now live on Facebook as well. So hello everybody, from Facebook and YouTube as well. Right, tonight I got a perfect little project for you. We did this some time ago, and on some of the Thursdays we are going to be revisiting some of these projects, because I just really do love, we got so many nice patterns our disposal, and we keep designing new and new and new. Carol, say hi, you're on Facebook, thank you very much. So it's very, you know, it's good to revisit old projects and redo them and do different colorways and refresh them as well. We got hundreds and hundreds of projects. Like honestly, I can't remember what I did and I haven't done. So we're gonna do the Ginko bracelets today. Very easy. I love it. It's 2 whole beads, the Ginko beads as well as the Czech Cabochons in the middle. I have got 2 holes in them, and they just bind the whole sort of thread path, the whole bracelet together really, really nicely. So I'm going to pop these samples to the side. I will show you the website at the end, so that you will know where to go and buy some from if you like. We have got some kits on offer, and I am going to get started. So the one I'm going to demo with, I'm going to start off with a 2 color one, which is sort of jet black on one side and a purple color on the other side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of so it would probably take me an hour to make one of these bracelets, and I was kind of thinking, how can I speed up the process as well at the same time I'm chatting to you. So I made one up which is sort of 3/4 of the way, maybe halfway made up, and made another one which is almost done, so I can show you properly all the different steps, as otherwise it would be making a very small bracelet tonight. So you need Ginko leaves, which are these funny shape beads. I'm gonna put the seed beads in front of me. I'm gonna zoom in more so you will be able to see it more closer up. You're gonna need 4mm crystal beads as well. And I need all the beads out at the same time because I'm gonna be using them right from the get-go. I'm gonna grab some thread and a needle. I'm gonna, where did I put the thread? Oh, here in front of me. I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna have to get a new needle. This one is a bit like bent, a bit overused, so I'm gonna treat myself to a new needle. Where did I put my little bottom needle? There, yeah. I put that right there. Sometimes, like, I think I hold onto the needle so tight that sometimes I look at the pile of needles and I haven't got a straight needle at all anywhere. Right, okay, so I'm just quickly going to say hello, hi Carol, Rachel, good evening, Carol, Phoenix Creations, good evening, Mina, Sherry's here, and Phoenix Creations saying, what a gorgeous blue, I love it, and I love the that it's black on one side and it is, hang on, I now need glasses. So I have to put them on, otherwise I can poke at the beads on the mat, no problem. I can do that, but threading a needle I now need glasses for. There we go, needle is threaded. So I'm gonna zoom in, I'm gonna come in one more, maybe zoom in a little bit more, let's have a look. There we go. So they have got 2 holes. I'm gonna borrow this needle from here. So the Ginko leaves have got 2 holes, they go that way. So one on this side and one on the other side. They, for me, these beads, like they're called Ginko beads, but they just look like a bicycle seat beads when I look at them. So this one has got 2 holes as well. So there's a hole there and there's a hole here. So again, with the Ginko ones, you haven't really got a front and, well, in some cases you have got a front and back, because one part of it will be more black and the other part of it will be more sort of this beautiful plating on there. However, I'll show you how to pick them up so you can get the best with them. I'm just looking one which is like this one. If you look at it, it's a bit more purple on one side, and you look at the other side, it's like a little bit more bluey. So they all sort of I'll show you how to pick them up so you have the right way. Now this one, you definitely have to have them pick them up the right way, because they have got a dome on the front of them. So they got a flat back, but they have got a dome on the front of them. And when you make the beads, when you make the bracelets and pick up the beads, you want all the flat beads on one side. I'll show you on a dark one so you can see it better. All the flat beads on one side and all the dome ones on the other side, just like that. Right, so I am just going to start. So with this one, what I love about this one, that we're going to start with right at the beginning with the clasp. I'm going to go through one of the Ginko beads. I'm going from the inner side to the outer side, meaning I'm going from the thinner end to the thicker end. I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to come back from the outer to the inner side, from the thicker end to the thinner end. I'm just going to pop this down for a second. So if you are not, if you're worried about how you're going to pick up your beads, the clasp is going to go on this side and we're going to have this bead on this side. Always just pop your work down on the mat when you're working with 2 hole beads, and then you will kind of realize, oh, I have to come through this hole to that way to be in the right position. Oops, and I just caught my thread with the crystals. Just pull this up, and then I'm going to pick up another Ginko leaf bead, and I am going to pick up 3 seed beads as well. Take these down, and I'm going to come back through the 3 hole on the Ginko bead from the outer to the inner side. I'm going to wrap that around my finger, just sort of, I can hold it on. So the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the loop of the clasp. Doesn't matter which one at this point. I'm going to let this go down as well. I'm going to pick up 4 beads, and as I came through from one side to another side on this loop, I'm going to come back on the loop on the same side, but I'm going to come back on myself. So I'm trapping all these 4 beads on this side. We're going to tighten all this up just in a second, and it's all gonna make sense. And then I'm going to locate where my tail is, and I'm going to come through the Ginko from my tail towards my seed beads, and I'm going to pull this up, and now I can pull all this tight, and they should fall into the starting point. Now I got seed beads on one side. What I'm going to do, I'm going to follow any thread path created through the Ginko, the cabochon, and the other Ginko and the seed beads, and I want to come out on this side just before I went through the loop on the clasp. That is the place I want to get to. Let me just get these beads out of the shot, because maybe the camera is trying to focus on them, so we have got a more clear view. Right, so I'm going to go through the seed beads, and the next one into the Ginko, into the cabochon, and the Ginko on the other side. Sometimes I can like sort of stitch through all 3 beads at the same time. Sometimes I'm stitching through bead by bead. I'm going to go through the seed bead, all 3 of them, and the Ginko. Now, last time, so if I look at it from this way, the seed beads are sitting on the top. So this time I want to go through from the seed bead side to the stitching to the loop to the side where there are no seed beads. I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads here as well, and I'm going to come back on the other loop. Now what I'm doing here is I'm centralizing the Ginko. Can you see like this one, which we haven't gone through, it sits in a bit of an angle, and this one, because now I've got a thread path going to the front and the back of the loop, it's like centralizing it and just sort of sits next to it just like that. Then I'm going to go through the Ginko bead, good evening Debbie, Joanne, good evening, Diane, good evening. Right, I'm going to go through the seed beads and I'm going to get to the other side. Will there are bead sets on the website, Diane. I'll show you just right. I wanted to get the demo done quick as possible because I need to be in the bead club at 7. So I wanted to get this part. I want you to know how to make it, and then I'll pop you over to the website. Otherwise, the link is in the description as well, so you can go down there and have a look and click on it. Right, so I got all the way to the other side. And now I'm going to start my pattern. Now how we do this pattern, we're going to do sort of half side, and then we're going to come back on ourselves and do the other side. So when I'm coming out on top of a Ginko, I'm going to pick up a crystal and a Ginko bead. I'm going to pick it up from going from the outer side to the inner side. And I'm going to go through the 3 hole on the cabochon. So on one side, I'm adding the crystals. On the other side, I'm going to be adding the seed beads. So now I'm going to pick up a Ginko bead and 3 seed beads. Let these go down. And I'm going to come through the 3 hole on that Ginko bead. Oh, there's just light just came on. Don't know what happened there. So I'm going to pull this up. Then I am going to pick up a cabochon. Again, if you're not sure which hole you have to go to the cabochon because you don't want it front to back, just pop it down on your mat. Have a look. You're going to be stitching downwards. I need to go through this side, so I still got another one to hook into later. Evening, Kim. There we go. And I'm going to go through the Ginko on the other side. So I'm securing the cabochon in there. Now, as you're doing your beadwork here, you want to have somewhat a tighter finish. So if you pick up your next bead, I'm going to pick up a crystal and the Ginko and just stitch down on this. But if I don't hold on to that bead and don't pay attention, then that can sort of slip out just like that. Now, before I would go any further, I really want to tighten up my thread path. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold onto the crystal. I'm going to pull my thread back by the side. So that will tighten up the row before. And then I'm going to hold on to my beads. I'm going to hold on to the top of the cabochon in place and then pull my thread down. So I got a nice tighter finish there. Pick up 3 seeds, a Ginko and 3 seeds. On one side, this side, going back on the 3 hole. So I am just sort of snaking up and down with my beads as I go along, adding the Ginko beads, seed beads, crystals and cabochons. So I'm picking up a crystal and a Ginko, going back. Now, one thing what I'd always sort of suggest to do, sometimes you can find maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 beads in 100 where the second hole is blocked, and I just turned it up so you can see that this one is not. So when I pick the beads up, I usually, as I scoop it off the mat, I just turn the needle totally towards me, just like that. So I'm going to turn it towards the camera so I can just see through that second hole and make sure it's not blocked, because it's so annoying sometimes when you pick the bead up, you do a row of beading and then you come back. This one is not too bad because you only would have to take a couple of beads back, but sometimes you have to take a lot of beads back. And coming back through there, pulling it nice and tight, and so on. So I always either pick up a cabochon, adding it in the middle, and then I'm adding one side and adding another side. It's all the way down. This is all I am doing. So when you're picking up your bead, and if like this one has got blue on one side and it's a bit more like very much purpley on the other side, now I might want to be strategic and kind of sort of plan my sides out. So I might want to have maybe more blues on one side and more purples on the other side when you get like a multicolor ones. But so when I put it down on my mat, I always like kind of turn the bead how, like even if this is in my hand, I turn the bead how it would sit in the pattern, and then like this is more of the purpley side, so I'm going to turn it around and I want to pick it up, so I'm going to be having the blue side. So I don't stop and don't put my work down when I check which side I want to sort of put on. And after a while, I think comes with practice, you can pick the beads out from a pile like that as well, being in mindful that they got 2 holes and 2 sides and they're gonna turn. Right, so I think we got this. So you're gonna be snaking up and down, up and down. You're gonna be adding the crystals on one side and seed beads on the other side as you're going into your pattern. And then what you get to the end, I'm just gonna pop this to the side, and I'm going to bring out another color. Let me just push the seed beads, just pick the seed beads up, because you know the seed beads are going to go everywhere. So I got this one here where I got down all the way to the other end with it. This is another color which is on the website. This is one of the new colors. There we go. So I got down all the way to the other end. Now my next step in this one is going to be adding the clasp. Like we got the clasp on this side. I did leave the bobbin on because I might need more thread later on. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but I'm right at here now where I am. And where did I put those beads? I just had them here. Hang on. There we go, got them. I was like, what did I do with the beads? Where did I put the beads? There we go. Right, so I got down to the other side, and I am going to be adding the last couple of these on, and then sewing the clasp plate again. So I need a crystal. I need actually a few crystals and the seed beads. So sewing your clasp on the other side. So for the very last beads I'm adding, I'm going to do exactly the same. So I'm going to pick up a crystal, go through my Ginko, go through the cabochon. I'm just going to pick this up so the thread doesn't travel backwards. Just tighten this up. There we go. And then on this side, I'm still going to do as normal. I'm going to pick up the Ginko, and I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to come back through that free hole and pull this tight, and I'm ready to add the clasp. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to fold my bracelet in half, and this is how I like to do it. I like to fold it in half because then I know there is no twist in it and I'm sewing it on the right way. So as I'm coming out of the Ginko, I'm folding my bracelet in half. I'm going to hold the two ends sort of together like a sandwich. I'm going to go through the loop on the clasp there. I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads. Come back on the loop and then go into the Ginko bead on the other side. Now I'm going to pull this up, and also this time when I get to sort of this point, I'm going to open up the clasp because I know that it's sewn on the right way and it's easier to hold it opened up. So picking up 3 seeds, I'm going to go through the Ginko and a cabochon and the Ginko as well on the other side. I'm going to follow my thread path around and do the same thing what I did. So I want seed beads on the top and underneath it. I like adding seed beads on the top of the loops because it just sort of covers up the mechanics and I just got a knot, mechanics of the bracelet. Come on, there we go, and through the Ginko, then through the seed beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming through the Ginko bead, and once again I'm going to stitch through the first loop from the side where the beads are, which they are here. So I'm going to stitch through from here to the other side. I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, stitch back through. So I'm centralizing the Ginko beads here as well to my clasp, and I'm going to go out on that Ginko. What do we think so far? Let me know in the chat. Have you done this one before? I'd like to know that as well. Right, so from here what we need to do, we need to start our journey back on this bracelet, and we're going to have to be adding in the missing beads. So I'm gonna weave my thread around. I'm gonna come through these 3 seeds. I'm gonna cross over one more, so I'm gonna come through the Ginko, cabochon. Now I tend to do this from the underside because I tend to find it's easier to stitch into cabochon from the underside of the bracelet. And then I'm gonna pick up a crystal because there's a crystal missing here, and go back on the next Ginko, cabochon, Ginko, all the way across. So I'm doing the same thread path I did before, but just not picking up Ginkos and cabochons. I'm just picking up seed beads and the crystals. So it's just adding those missing beads in. I'm just gonna add a couple more. I'm adding a crystal here. So I'm going back on myself all the way down to the clasp. There we go. I love this colorway. Oh, I forgot. Let's tighten that up. I think my thread might be a little bit twisted. There. So keep an eye on it. So 3 seed beads crossing over. How's the craft room setting up going? I'm pretty much there. It's not the craft room, it's the rest of the house at the moment. I was sorting out stuff in the basement yesterday. I still got about 50 boxes in storage, which at this point, sorry, I still got this cough. At this point, I had this cough for over 3 months now. It's like it's not even like it's well, I don't know, horrendous now. About 50 boxes in storage. So I don't even know what's in them. So possibly I don't need them at all anymore. But yeah, I still got loads to sort out. So I think you get an idea. You're going to be adding your missing beads in, going backwards, the crystals and the seed beads. Come on, camera, focus on us. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. Adding the beads going back. Now, once you go back to the other side and added all your beads, I'm gonna change to another color now, which is this one, because I didn't want to make 3 bracelets exactly the same color, so I thought it might be a little bit confusing, like I'm changing the colors as we're going through, but I think it's sort of quite nice because you get to see all the different colors. So going then on the other side, I added all the seed beads and all the crystals I needed to add. However, I got one last step what I want to do with this, which is, so, well, you don't have to add seed beads to the ends if you don't want to. I quite like to add seed beads to the end, but you can sort of jump over there. But what I like to do is to run down one side of the one side of the bracelet, then run up on the other side of the bracelet. And the reason I'm doing that is because, like, as we were crisscrossing backwards and forwards, we are always at the corner with the crystals themselves, and it's always the crystals what can be like sort of misbehaving, because they can have like a little bit sharper edges. So by running down and then up on our bracelet, we really counter sort of that what's going to be holding up your bracelet is not, like, you can leave it like this as well, but for extra security, what's going to be holding up your bracelet is this line, what we're going to be running down on one side and coming back on the other side. So as I came through the last cabochon, I'm going to go through these seed beads, and while I'm here at the corner, I like to fill this gap in. Now this gap can be sort of a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller depending on how big is this gap before you get to those beads. It depends on some of the clasp, the loops sort of a little bit closer, in some of the clasp, the loops a little bit further apart. But as a rule of thumb, pick up 4 seed beads and take it down on your thread and just line it up and see, do I need an extra one in there, or perhaps do I need to take one away, because that could be an option as well. I usually stick my needle, like holding the thread by the very last bead, and then I pull it to pull it around in my beadwork to gauge it, like how many seed beads I need there. If I had 3, let me pull this back and show you. So if I just added 3, can you see there would be a gap there and thread would be showing? 5 would be definitely too much, because then we would be lifting away from the Ginko bead. So 4 bead is the right bead. Now I'm going to go through the beads here, which is on the top of that loop. So I'm binding, starting this and binding it just there, going through all 4 of them. Then I'm going to go up, I'm going to pick up another 4 for this side, and I'm going to go through these 3 and pull this up. And all I'm going to be doing is running down, so going through the seed beads and crystals on the side, just sewing these together, securing them together. They straighten them up as well, and it just take the stress away from the crystals somewhat. Now there's only one thing you're going to have to be careful while doing this. It's kind of, you need to keep an even tension on both sides. So you are going to, let me just pull this tight. So you are if I go through a few more beads, and if I pull it tight, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So going through these seeds and the crystal and this seed, just sort of stitching all the way down. You could try to go through as many beads as you want in the same stitch, so kind of sort of saving you having to pull through so many times. Now if I pull this really tight, and if I pull this tight, can you see what's happening? The end of the bracelet is buckling one way. So we need to be careful not to have a very, very tight tension. So once you have gone through some of the beads, just pop it down on your mat and just sort of brush your hands across the top of it to loosen that thread there. And especially when you do the other sides, I would go all the way down at the 4 missing seed beads here and come back. Especially when you're doing the other side, you need to keep the tension the same as on this side, because otherwise you're going to have like a lopsided bracelet. So that is it there to it. Now quickly we're going to pop you over to the website to show you where is my website gone. It's asking me if I want to update the computer. Not right now, thank you very much. It always pops up the worst possible moments, isn't it? When you don't want it to do that. Right. There we go. So by now you know the drill. What you need to do, you're going to go to totallybeads.co.uk and you're going to press on jewelry making right here. I don't think this has been added to the video tutorials, so this will be in the bracelet kits, which is right at the top, and you're gonna scroll down, but get Simon to add it in the video tutorials, but I just checked it before I go live. You're gonna scroll down and there we go, Ginko bracelet just there, but you can find it in the description as well. And have a look, we got the new colors. The pictures are going to be going up for these ones very soon, because I just finished them here. So the Ginko bracelet rose black and pearl, that was the one I was just working with, and the one I was working with jet metallic blue, that was the very first one we used, and that one was the second one. Yeah, that's got pictures. So that's that is the second one, the rose black and pearl, that's the second one. Right, let me just click into it and see. If you click into any of these ones and you scroll down, you can always see that this one was the second one we used, so you can always see the materials, what's in the kit, if you scroll down to the bottom. So that was the second one we used, and you get all the Ginko beads, you get instructions, you get the crystal beads, you get the cabochons, you get the slider clasp, you get seed beads, everything you need to make this. And let me just click back on this one, and the very last one we did, where is it? I think it's this one, but it's got the wrong picture to it. Let me scroll down. Yes, so this one was the rose one, was the very last one. I was just showing you how to finish it off. So it's got different crystals and different cabochons with it. Some of them I tweaked a little bit because it was like what's available in stock, and as well, like, this is so interesting. Like when I did this like last year or the year before, like you choose certain colors, and as you move on, like you just fancy different colors. So sometimes I change colors and recycle colors around, but I just really wanted to do something like, which is a very much oops, where's the camera, very much sort of a coppery rosy finish all around, and not having the cream in the middle. Right, I'm gonna come back to my camera here. So have a look at them. There is so many beautiful colors on the website, very, very easy to make. And what I love about these bracelets the most, that they're really comfortable to wear, because they're very flat bracelets. So they create this fabric like texture, like a watch strap. You don't really realize they are on your hand. So they're really, really nice to wear. Let me just zoom out a little bit so I can add all the colors in, most of the colors here, for you to have a look. But do have a look on the website. Right, my lovelies, thank you very much for watching me. Thank you, Robin is saying, and Rachel is saying thank you. Thank you very much for watching tonight. I will see you next week. Laura is going to be with you. I will see you the week after, and then yeah, next week Laura's with you. At the moment, like I never know what week is it, what time is it, what month we are in, what year we are in. Like I thought COVID was last year, and apparently it was 4 years ago. The other day we were talking with somebody, I was like, really? Yeah. So like I'm so disorientated with time. But next week definitely Laura's with you. I'm with you the week after. Everybody have a beautiful evening and have a very good weekend. I hope the weather is sort of stays good. Even if the sun goes in and out of the clouds, I don't mind as long as it doesn't rain, and we can just sort of sit out and be warm and just enjoy some time in the garden. And I love beading in the garden. Right, everybody, have a beautiful evening. I see you very